Greetings. Greetings.
Yeah, we got a mirror matchup against No Hands Gamer here. Yeah, and let me also help add in a few gaps. Thank you to Parallel for sponsoring this video. I was invited to a massive $25,000 Parallel tournament full of Hearthstone stars as well as other card game stars. Look at that lineup. It was insane. Anyways, on this particular match, I'm playing against No Hands Gamer in a mirror match, Scipius versus Scipius. So I will help fill in the gaps. I thought this was a good game. Fill in the gaps in how to play Parallel. Let's go ahead and show it. And this is Parallel at the high tournament level with some strong decks. Let's go. Mirror in the sense that we're both using the same commander, quote unquote, or Paragon.
The tide rises.
At the beginning of the game, we're playing the same deck, so it's going to be probably a tempo matchup. Yes, please continue, Trump. At the beginning of the game, there's a mulligan phase, 5 cards apiece. You choose which ones to redraw. Of course, you want to choose the ones that are cheap. The mana cost, energy cost is on the top right. I'm going second in this one.
Both of our Paragon's ability is muster, trigger all muster abilities. They've activated this game with targets chosen randomly. Opponent banked a card, but did not actually trigger the passive ability. After you bank a unit, create a 0/1, Scipius' adjutant. So, banked a non-unit there, which is unusual for this deck.
Yeah, about banking the card. Every single turn, you choose which card you want to put in your bank.
A mid-rangey deck. Oh, started with Reliant and Gamma, which is really good for me because I have the hard counter, the Elven Archer.
And that choice on which card to put in your bank is a pretty big one, as you can see Tournament Trump doing right now, because you have to choose which one of the cards that you're not going to play with. You shove it permanently into the bank. That's your energy gain for the turn, unlike Hearthstone, where you just get a energy each turn.
Against your 1 mana 2/1, which grows out of control if I don't deal with it, but sadly gets hard counted by Mercenary Gunslinger.
You'll notice at the end of the turn I drew a card. Every time you bank a card, other than the first player, first turn of the first player, you get to draw a card at the end. So you cycle through a bunch of more cards than Hearthstone. You get the natural card draw at the start of your turn. You also get the card draw when you bank a card.
Unit, if you already control the adjutant, it gets +1/+0.
So you can see, like, there's a lot of decision making here.
Scipion if I want.
Not only do you have to decide, you know, the usual board state and what to cast, but the bank mechanic makes it so that each turn you think about which card you're going to get rid of, because it's going to serve as an energy instead.
These cards.
So here,
better to get rid of that one.
Old Trump playing the tournament, you know, got to decide how to interact with the board. Also got to interact. Also got to think about which card to bank, so that I can get to 2 energy and do my stuff. Of course, you can see that the cards have power and toughness. So I'm thinking about how to do the trades on the board as well. A lot of board control in this particular matchup. I choose the 6 energy card to bank. Gonna be a while before playing that, and this is a very tempo-based matchup. So you'll see that even though that was a simple,
letting it live.
Even though that was a simple turn too, like a lot of decisions to be made. The card that I had to bank was basically a powerful endgame 6 energy card, and you know you love to cast that, but you know you gotta survive the early game, get that board control.
Relic. This is basically non-combatant constant effect ability. Do I want to defend? Yes, I would.
Player who goes second gets that defender for free at the beginning, a 0/2.
A little bit of interaction. I can choose to have my defender take the hit for someone else.
A lot of cards have Defender as well. This is more interactive than Taunt and more powerful than Taunt because the person with the Defender can choose whether
Definitely
or
gonna
not
wanna
to
take out
intercept.
that guy this turn. Discard this, +1, POW. No, I'd rather take out that one now. If I sack this, then I can get it back to +1, as it is itself also a clone.
You can see here I'm musing about how to get max value out of the Scipius interactions here, which are already online as early as turn 3 here.
A lot in this one.
And it is really important because doing things in the right order
the unit,
get me a total of 3 +1/+1s.
Gets the +1/+1, and then this clone generates a clone, which gets +1/+1.
Now that's
value.
Value.
And if my guy survives here, then I'll get to play the Seeing Triple card, which creates 3 clones for 3 +1/+1s, but they're surely going to kill this guy.
So you can see how intense the board control fight was here, with every single amount of attack and every single amount of health mattering as we try to get rid of each other's value cards. That's the black market fixer,
A unit costs 2 or less,
which
we'll
targets
3/3.
energy costs.
Yep.
So you can see we pretty much swapped, we constantly fought on the board and swapped who was in the better board position
So
each
my
turn.
2/2 goes into that 1/2. My 1/2 goes into the 1/1. 1/1 goes into the 2/1. I think that's the way I can still hold the largest amounts of clone armies. Although I kind of want to hold this. This is actually 2 after I discard something.
That's
That doesn't matter.
from the Paragon's passive, where if I discard a unit, the adjutant gets +1 attack, or you create an adjutant if you don't have one already. Surprisingly powerful, just 4 energy in order to get 3 1/1s, but they all have Defender and they're all clones.
So the idea here is to have a bunch of clones out and then play the clone war leader. Other friendly clones have +2, +1. Which certainly the opponent might be about to do as well, but we hope the opponent won't do that. These 3 clones all have Defender, so they can protect my precious clone birthing mother.
And you're about to see the opponent make a bunch of attacks on the cunning Scipion over there on the left, but every single time they do, I have the option to intercept with my Defender cards, which I'm going to take.
You must attack the unit with Defender.
Small thing to mention as we
that gets ahead, you just somehow have a bunch of clones, and then you play the clone leader.
Let's take a look.
Small thing to mention while we both reach the 5 energy point. At 5 energy, you can also play your Paragon in this case, since that is a 5 energy card, which you can see over on the top left and bottom left. Both cards that we can play. You play it one time, and then you still have your passive for the rest of the game, but pretty big effect in the Scipius deck in particular to play that. since it makes all of your muster effects go off again. This is about to be a massive board control turn where, hey, if you like trump trading, you're about to see a bunch of trump trading. Of course, first I have to get through all these defenders, so there was nothing I could do, but next turn really is going to be where the trump trading really takes into effect, where I use my units in order to kill their units instead of going face. By clearing the board, I get to protect my very valuable units, such as the unit that spawns more units, or the unit that buffs all the units.
By the tides.
It looks like got control of the board with the Drusian Exhorator. So we might have this one on lockdown. I'm still spawning guys, and that deck doesn't really have comeback mechanisms.
Yeah, this is pretty much a tempo versus tempo matchup.
3-2 goes into the 1-2. My 3-1 goes into that one.
So board control is very, very important.
I play this and then that. Oh wait, I had a guy die, so I can deal 3, but that's not relevant here.
And here's where you can really see there's so many things that interact here.
Oh, no,
and there's still the
misorder.
choices to be made
on the guy.
about which card to bank each turn.
Well, small things that you can mess up here. So anyways,
Let's do some science.
Did you also notice there's a lot of units on this board here? There's actually no unit maximum in this game. So you can have a board of 100 units if you wanted to. And there's all the trump trading.
We have
With the opponent having just one card left in the hand.
phone comes into play. I get to give a unit +1/+1.
And again, no real comeback mechanism in this particular matchup. It's very
Hopefully
similar to
don't have
old-fashioned
board clear.
Zoo
I don't have
versus
any board
Zoo.
clears in this deck.
So the opponent presumably shouldn't as well. This looks like it's coming to the end.
This is not the end!
How much do I have here? 3, 8, 12, 15, 17, 22, 25, 29 damage. Math.
Onward! Attack!
And that is a game of Parallel. You can see that it has parallels with other card games that you may be used to. You can get the game using the link below. Free to play. So, ready to just play as soon as you get it. I thought it was a cool game to try. Thank you again to Parallel for sponsoring this video.